Hello, this is Bing. I'm happy to help you write a script for your booktube video. Here is the possible outline for your script based on cut cut acting. So hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Season's greetings and very happy new year. Hope you guys are drinking well. No, doing well and drinking less. Okay, enough of that kind of crude humor. I thought of making a list of the top 10 books that I've read this year, but why did I show 5 instead of 10?
2,000 years later.
And I said 10. God, this is going in a terrible way. Okay, before we get started, there obviously will be spoilers in this video, and so if you don't want to watch it, leave right now. Not that many people actually watch these videos. I get like 30-40 views. So of all the 30 people who watch my stuff, trade cautiously, I guess. Yeah. Okay, so let's get started.
Later.
করেছে আসছে এই তুমি একবার এখানে বসো তাহলে আমি দেখি কেমন ফোকাসটা আসছে ফাইন ঠিক আছে so I'm back. Got rid of the hoodie because it's kind of hot in this room, and also it's the next day because I shot the intro, went back to sleep, woke up the next day, went to a picnic, came back, and here we are. You don't need to know that. Okay, moving on. On number 5, it's of Ants and Dinosaurs by Shijin Liu. This is a satirical fable and an ecological warning coming from the writer of the Three Body Problem series. This tells a story of a world where ants and the dinosaurs have formed a symbiotic relationship based on the mutual exchange of technology, science, therapies, and whatnot. But this codependency comes to a stalemate when these two factions become detrimental to one another. We see difference of opinions based on religious beliefs, from ecological standpoints, and myriad of other reasons. Writing is witty, thought provoking, and it's very poignant, so to speak. And Shijin Lu has this ability to write these heavy philosophical themes in such a humorous and allegorical way that it's astounding. So that's my pick for number 5. On number 3, it's on number 3 on number 4, it's a graphic novel called We Three by Grant Morrison and illustrated by Frank Quietly, yeah. I don't know why I did that. So it basically tells a story about a dog and a cat and a rabbit who are subjected to horrendous experiments, and they end up being turned into cyborgs essentially, and they are used to perform kind of covert operations or wet works for a shady government agency, and how they leave their captors and they in the search of freedom, and what are the repercussions following this act of theirs is the story of We Three. The writing is very minimalistic. There are barely any dialogues, and here I have to give props to the illustrator Frank Quietly. He manages to bring so much emotion by using just couple of panels of a story that it leaves you with a mesmerizing effect. And this is available on Kindle, so if anyone wants to take a look at that, they can. But I would advise anyone who is looking to get into the story that go in only if you have a very happy state of mind and you're not feeling morose or anything, because this story packs a punch. It's gut wrenching, and it leaves you in the form of this kind of emaciated husk, that a shell of a being. You feel like so much has been ripped out of your heart after reading the literal horrible things that happens in this book. So I would, again, as said, tread cautiously. And this story is quite graphic at times as well. So it has that. So there's another warning going for it. But I would suggest everyone to at least go through it once in their life, because this is one of those kind of seminal pieces of literature that needs to be read more and more and more. On number three, Unsold by Will White, the first book in the Cradle series. So, Cradle is basically a progression fantasy, which is a new subgenre in fantasy literature. It basically means the lead character starts from a very low level and eventually levels up to having god tier attributes. This book is very short, it's very binge worthy book, and this the magic system in this book is kind of hard to follow, but once you get the hang of it, it's quite enjoyable. This book tells the story of Wei Shi Linden, an unsold from a sacred village, where in this world the unsold means a person who doesn't have any kind of powers. There are five power levels in this particular series. It's starting from foundation, copper, iron, jade, gold, and so on and so forth. There are other levels of power that has been explored in the latter books. This book has a lot of suspense, humor, and twists. It's a perfect read for anyone who is into martial arts, cultivations, and adventure. So it ends up being on number three in my list. Tire ranking would be quite Shijin Liu heavy. Foreshadow. No. On number two, it's The Three Body Problem by Shijin Liu, the first book in the Remembrance of Earth's Past series. Man, that was a mouthful. It begins with the Cultural Revolution of China, where a secret military project basically sends out signal to an extraterrestrial race which is in the verge of extinction. So these aliens, they basically decide to invade Earth, and in the meanwhile different factions, some resisting the aliens or this an invasion, or uh, different factions are formed, some trying to resist the aliens, some trying to understand the aliens. And this book explores ideas of science, cosmos, philosophy, space exploration in a very epic and grand scale. It's dense with information and it's a hard sci-fi, so some people will feel a certain disconnect, but if you struggle through it, it will be very very rewarding at the end, and it will make you rethink your place in the grandeur of the universe. So it's on number two. On number one, it's The Dark Forest, the second book in the Remembrance of Earth's Past trilogy by Shijin Liu. Sorry, I burped. It basically continues the story of alien invasion and how the humanity decides to retaliate against it. And here we will be going into the spoiler territory, so just a warning. Here in the end, by the end of the first book, we get to know that the aliens have sent this sentient subatomic particles called sophons to basically stunt our scientific growth and to spy on us, and they are omnipresent. Okay. To counter this, human comes up with a project called Wallfacers, which is basically choosing four individuals from millions and giving them access to vast resources to come up with a plan, essentially, to retaliate against the aliens. One of the wallfacers is Luo Ji, an obscure sociologist and astronomer who comes up with this theory called the forest theory, which essentially proves the Fermi paradox, that the uncertainty of life in the vastness of universe. And this book basically explores that concept through layer by layer by layer. It's a captivating and unforgettable read that will keep you at the edge of your seat. So that's why it's on number one on my list. So that's it for the top five reads that I have done this year. Do let me know if you agree with them or don't. I don't care. Do let me know in the comments if you like this kind of ranking videos and whatnot. Chances are in the next 6 months I would respond to one of those and make another one. Bye.